be doing this from your private beach house.
That's right. Well, you're keeping me abreast on all those islands that are available, and I appreciate that, Jim.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe you'll invite us sometime.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're still exploring right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Waiting for the prices to get better.
Yeah, I understand.
I've seen the wood prices are coming down a little bit, though. Up north, they've come down in the last week or so, which is a good sign.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good. I got a deck project I'm holding off. I spent about $100 worth of lumber just to keep it going for a couple more years and stabilize it.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll hold out another couple of years till things
always get some of those free pallets available out there, Lloyd. I used to get those for stuff I did out in the woods, and then I'd burn them, anything I didn't use. And
yeah,
I don't know. There's probably a lot of uses for those. We used to make fun of them.
Used to, but yeah, free wood is free wood, huh?
Yep, absolutely. Only problem is they got those curly nails in them.
Yeah,
they're hard to break apart, but you can burn them, and then you get your nails back too.
The ultimate recycling.
Yeah,
that's right.
That would be.
Yeah, good to see everybody. Come on in. We'll get started in just a minute. We're just going to have a networking session today, which is looking forward to this. So anything you guys want to say, it's going to be just like a meeting in person, except you're in your own space. How's that? All right. Well, did you got anything you want to, any announcements or anything, Lloyd, before you go?
Yeah, I might start off. I'm Lloyd Allender, the current president of the board for STLREIA. Did want to make an announcement that the board has decided on a new location, and we're getting ready to sign a contract with the Moolah Shriners. It's a very close location to where we met before at the Board of Realtors. It's right at the corner near the intersection of Highway 270 and the Page Avenue extension there on Fifi Road. We'll be sending out more details in coming newsletters, and you'll be getting more emails on it. But we're going to be doing that in September, and we're going to be kicking our September meeting off with some Ted Drew's frozen custard and having a panel, our own members' panel discussion. It's been a pretty popular meeting topic in the past, and so we're hoping to draw a big crowd between the ice cream and the frozen custard. Excuse me, it's not ice cream, it is custard. Frozen custard, and having some of our own members talking on the panel and being open for questions. Hopefully we'll get a good crowd there at the new facility. So, but we got 2 more meetings on Zoom, and we're hoping to have that Zoom also. We got to work out the technical part of getting cameras and everything in the meeting room. So hopefully we're hoping to continue to have both online and in person, live in-person meetings starting September, but we'll see how that works out.
But
anyway,
you got
two more meetings.
You gotta show up in person to get the Ted Drews, though.
Yeah, we can't have Ted Drews virtually. No, it just doesn't work. It kind of melts a little. It gets a little soft over the wire. Anyway, but in the meantime, we do have 2 more meetings. We got our July 20th meeting. That's going to be Zoom only, and our August 17th. I'm going to let John talk about what he's got, who the speaker he's got lined up. He's had a long time relationship with Jennifer Hammond, and he's wrangled her to make our presentation for us exclusively on the 20th, next Tuesday. So go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the meeting coming up next week. Jennifer, she's actually turned into a pretty good friend of mine over the years. She's hosted the real estate show on Sirius XM radio for over 10 years. She's one of the top producers in the Washington, D.C. area, which as far as the realtors go, is if you know anything about their area, it's a little bit different as far as prices and values that we have around here. Actually, quite a bit different. So she's going to share some things. Actually, what she's going to do for us is she's going to come here and just kind of educate us on some of the ways that some of the people are finding deals today. Because it's been kind of, I know I've heard this from a lot of people. It's been deals are getting harder to find. They're still out there. There's still non-wanters that you have to find, but you got to look at a little bit harder now because there, a lot of people are saying it's a seller's market, which kind of is. I'm kind of amazed at some of the stuff even around here, what it's going for. With just even properties and just a lot of things. I know Jim Troik sent out an STLREIA thing link, and I just looked at that this morning. And then rents are up quite a bit over the last few years in our area too, but really around the country they're all like that. So there'll be probably a lot of people still looking to buy properties, especially us investors. So this will be pretty interesting. Hear what Jennifer has to say. And we got a lot of other things planned. Like Lloyd said, we're going to go back live. We're going to try to do a hybrid meeting. That's going to be interesting. We're still working on details of that. So that's something that us technical people are not real good at. But there are people that are. So, it's like anything, just know how to do everything. Don't do everything. I know how to do a roof, but I'm not about to crawl up there and carry the shingles up. So, we're going to definitely hire somebody, the professionals to do everything we need to do. So with that being said, Lloyd, do you have anything else you want to say before we just get started today?
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and kick it off here. This is kind of a free for all, I guess. I don't know if we want to start out with haves and wants. If we got somebody that's got something they want to sell, or somebody is specifically looking for a property in a certain area, now's the time. We can, from there, we exhaust that. Then we can just go to networking. You've got any general questions to open it up for? We got a lot of experienced investors.
I have questions.
Sure. Go ahead, Brenda.
I have a lot of questions. I'm nervous. I found a house and I'm supposed to go to the not to the title company, but to the owner's house tomorrow. And I'm about ready to back out because I'm nervous now. And when I tried to do the wholesale formula, he's selling the house for $235. And when I did the wholesale formula, it took it down to like $177. And he said that was not enough. He's just a private owner. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So then he took it down to $225. And I already have the money. I was going to pay cash for it. And then, but I need to sell it. So I don't know what to do on that end. Do I sell it for $235, what he was offering to me? I just don't know what to do.
You're using your own money on a wholesale deal. Is that correct, Brenda?
No, it's not my money. It's a funding company, but I don't have any fees.
Okay. My experience with wholesaling is I just tied it up with a contract and I didn't use any of my money or investors' money. That's the way I've done it in the past. Are you with a group of investors? Is that where your money's coming from? Or is it through a program or?
Yeah, it's a program.
Okay. Do you have like a mentor with that program that's helping you?
They just have videos, to watch.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of, there's a lot of things that could go in that. One answer doesn't really, fit for what most wholesale deals are. You just need to find out what their motivation is. I mean, because there's a lot of different things that go into that. You could, if you're just wanting to wholesale it and turn it over to somebody else, that's kind of how I would do it. I would do it under a contract. That's what I've done in the past. But if you're wanting to like buy and hold it, or if you've got somebody in mind already, then you could work out the deal that way. I don't know, Lloyd, do you have something you want to say on that? I mean, that's an open-ended question, really.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not normally a wholesaler, but I kind of agree. Most wholesalers, I think, just tie it up with don't have a definite commitment to purchase it, but until they can find a buyer, an end buyer for it.
Right. Well, with this program, I have to buy it and then I have to find the buyer. And so I'm not doing the assignment. It's like A to B and then B to C.
Mhm. Well, it's a little more risky with that, and that putting yourself in that position. That's what I'm saying. John was saying it's you have less at risk if you just do an assignment.
Oh, okay.
But,
Okay.
I want to
anybody
say
else
is,
have a comment? Yeah, I think we probably got some other wholesalers here or somebody that's been in this situation before.
no, I want to say is, you will only put on the contract. You should have a buyer first before you put on a contract, so you know it's a good deal. You can sell it, not vice versa. Plus, I mean, beginners, wholesalers, they don't have experience, so they always think they're getting good deal. Most time they are not. But in truth, if it's truly a good deal, that is the most difficult thing to do, which it takes the highest skill, is to find the deal. Deal means you have a huge discount. If you can find a great deal, there's no lack of buyers. Okay, so for whatever 225,000, in what school district? What's the zip code?
63379.
Okay.
It's
I'm
in
not familiar
Troy.
with this.
It's in Troy, Missouri.
Yeah, that's rural area. That's way far. So I don't think you have a lot of buyers for that, and it's not a good deal. So just back up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. It's good advice there. I think. Yeah, if you got a really good deal, you should have buyers. And I think a lot of wholesalers get their buyers list together first, and then go out and find the deals. They find out where buyers want to buy and what they're looking for, and then concentrate on finding something that's there. And because I've given I'm a buyer. I buy properties from wholesalers when I can get them right, and if they're in my area that I'm looking to increase my rental portfolio. But but I very seldom get a call back because they're looking. I've got some pretty strict requirements, and it's only a rare occasion that a wholesaler finds something that I'm looking for that meets my requirements that I can ready to jump on. So, yeah, if anybody else has any comments to add to that, welcome to. If not, on the haves and wants, I am still looking for. I'll kick it off here. I'm still looking for either a lot in St. Charles, preferably at least a half an acre. Well, maybe up to an acre or two. Some of this in commercial, maybe even residential. If it's good access. I'm looking to build an RV garage or a storage facility. If I can get a large enough place that's already on a commercial, because I'm an RVer and I hate paying. That's the only rent check I pay every month is to store my darn RV. So I'm looking to get out of that business and start collecting rent from other RVers that want to store there. Build a facility that can house more than just mine. But anyway, either that or having a lot, or possibly a large lot with a small house on it. It's got good access, especially on a corner lot where I could put an extra driveway with a building, but it could store a couple of RVs in from the side street. That would be great too. I looked at some of those. I'm usually scanning the MLS occasionally for a large lot with a little house. That might be a good location too. So if anybody's got something like that or knows of it, you can please contact me. I'll give you my phone number is 636-578-2107. 636-578-2107. I'm still waiting on hearing. I had Laura Lennington found somebody that had a lot. It was about a half an acre, she thought. He hadn't had it surveyed yet, so he's still waiting to get the details of the survey and get it approved.
Is that one he's splitting off of another property, Lloyd?
Yeah, he bought a house that needed rehab. He's a contractor, and bought a 1 acre lot, and he renovated the house, and he was gonna flip it, but then he had a friend that was looking for a rental, so he rented it to a friend. but he was planning on getting the lot subdivided. But when I looked at it, if you drew a straight line to subdivide it and do a half acre on each lot, it would go right through the garage, through the middle of the garage that's on the house right now. So the house wasn't quite set off on it to the side enough. So I'm not sure what he was trying to, he was trying to get a half acre, because I told him I was looking for a minimum of half an acre. So if they missed the garage, and especially if they got to leave the, whatever, 10, 15 feet spacing between a structure and a lot line, it's going to be definitely less than a half an acre, and may not work for me anyway.
So he'd have to get approved from like zoning and planning though?
Yeah, he got a survey done of the lot, and now he's trying to get with the whatever the zoning authority is there.
Yeah.
To see if he can maybe make a jog around in the back, and instead of doing a straight line, if he can jog it around. That's what the holdup is now. I always thought he would just get a survey and I go out and take a look at it, but he's trying to get some additional provisions on the lot to maybe jog around.
That's kind of difficult, because if you got to go there, they're probably going to deny it the first several times is how that works. It's going to tie it up for months. One of the things I look for when I'm looking for properties is I look for lots that are already subdivided on the legal description. In fact, I just sold a couple this week that I bought 5.5 lots. And I sold 1.5, and then I sold 2 other single ones, and then I sold a double lot. But I could split those all without doing any of the surveys and engineering work, because it was already spelled out lot number, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and a half, or whatever. It was similar to that. I look for those all the time, because you can really make a lot more money doing that. And you don't have to do all that extra work and expense. And the zoning and planning, my experience is, even in the smaller towns, they like to deny stuff.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
I don't know why, but they just do. So yeah, it's going to be difficult. You're probably going to be able to find one quicker, is my guess, if you find one already either split up, or somebody, find somebody that doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to, just to find a lot. That's why I said,
yeah.
Well, the longer this deal has been dragging on for a couple of months now.
Yeah.
And so far, I'm not too hopeful at this point. The longer it goes, I'm not too hopeful. Yeah, unfortunately, I let one slip through my fingers about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a really, really good deal, and called the guy, made him an offer, and he said no, he wasn't ready to sell it for that. And instead of following up every couple of months, hey, you're ready to sell that yet? Like the wholesalers online will tell you that. That's why I'm not a good wholesaler. I'm not good on the follow-up. Ended up, I had some money left over from I was doing a 1031 exchange and had some money left over. Hey, I got enough to go get that lot again. So I go call that guy. I went to the public record. He ended up selling to somebody else for less than what I had offered him, 6 months earlier.
Yep.
He just, because I didn't follow up. He had my phone number. I sent him a letter initially, and he called me, and I just told him I was interested in it. But people's circumstances change, and that's why you gotta keep following up.
Yep.
I'm trying to get good at that though. Now and you got to build a relationship. I know from what Laura Lennington says, she builds relationships. I went around. Well, just earlier this week, there was a garage sale in my neighborhood, and it was my wife had driven by and saw, hey, it's an older couple. She knew the house, and it was an older couple. I said, I'll go over there. Well, I missed the garage sale that day. The whole weekend slipped by. But I went by earlier this week. I think it was on Monday, Tuesday. And say, hey, I saw the garage door open, and a guy was out working in the yards. Hey, hi there. And say, hey, sorry I missed your garage sale. And I wanted to, if you had anything left, oh yeah, hey, so he invited me in the garage, and so we started talking. I bought a little file cabinet just to establish a relationship. We started talking about, he was a lifetime St. Charles residents too. And we chatted for a long time. And just before I left, I said, I told him my wife had really admired their house. They had a great sunroom and everything. So I said, well, by the way, if you're ever, turns out they weren't selling. It wasn't their garage sale. It was one of their daughter's garage sales. She lived in an apartment, didn't have room to have a garage sale at her place. So she brought it all over to her mom and dad's house. But I say, hey, if you ever are thinking about selling it here, I left him one of my cards, you know. So I buy and sell properties in the area, and got rentals, and so started establishing a relationship there. And he said, "Oh yeah, hey, I'll keep your card. Thanks for that." So we'll see. You know, we can. Like I said, it's all about relationships and keeping the door open, keeping the discussions open. And I know my brother. Yeah, and he can't be on the line here, David, but he was a master at that. He kept following up. He lost a house that he built in a divorce. It had to be sold. We had to settle the divorce. It got sold. He kept going every year. He'd like to put it on his calendar. Once a year, he'd go over and visit the guy and talk to him. Hey, you know, trying to sell it. You know, you ever want to sell a house? You know, call me, let me know. And I think it was about on year 6. You know, guy said, no, we love the house. It's great and everything. I think it was on year 6. He went back for his annual visit. I said, hey, you know, I still keep me in mind. He just talked a little bit because I think he was an auto mechanic also like my brother. He was in the same business. And hey, still thinking about selling it? Well, you know, yeah, my business hasn't been doing too good here this last year. And yeah, this house payment's getting kind of expensive. I might be considering it. And, you know, he struck out a deal, and he was able to buy his house back from the guy had owned it for 6 years, and his circumstances changed. So that's kind of important thing to know. And like I said, I got to get better at follow up. So I find some potential deals like that, and I just gotta put it on my calendar and go back and keep in touch with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, follow-up is key. That's a great point. I know Laura Lennington brought that up a few times, but most people don't follow up, and people do not get upset with you either if you just say, hey, I was just checking in, see how you're doing, see if anything changed. You know, it's a matter of that quick of a conversation. And just to know you care, people really, that makes a huge difference in a lot of times. And they'd rather do business with people they like and kind of know and trust anyway. So, I mean,
yeah,
you know, I mean, it just, you know, you're the guy, as long as you're there to help them, you know, in the long run, my experience is it works, you know, and they'll do business with you. So that's a great point.
Yeah. Some of the best deals I've had have been from people that I knew and had a relationship with. I can say that too, because I know back in my early days, I had a friend at Boeing that he had gotten interested in. I'd already had started my rentals. Had a couple of duplexes, and he was interested in. So I kind of coached him through his first deal, and he was pretty happy about it. And that he got a 2-family down in South City. And it turned out, golly, that was an area I was kind of interested in buying. And I told him, hey, you know, if you're ever interested in selling that, and he got a real sweetheart deal on it too. And if you're interested in selling that 2-family down there, I'd be interested in talking to you. And it didn't take him too long. He was kind of one of these in and out kind of guys, and he didn't stay too interested in any one thing for too long. And about a year later, he said, hey, hey, I might be interested in selling that 2-family down there. Tenants were getting him some problems, and he had run into a problem tenant. And I think it wasn't too much more than the year after he bought it. He passed along me for the same price he bought it for, and it was a good deal. And I kept it for another 15 years, I think it was, and it was a sweetheart deal for me. Yeah. It turned out, I used that in a 1031 exchange and bought a house in St. Charles, kept that for another almost 20 years. And just a couple of years ago, I turned that into another 1031 exchange. And now I've got a house here in St. Charles that's worth over $250,000 free and clear now. Just because of that little deal I made, 30 some years ago.
Yep.
So, so a lot of people talk about real estate as being a get rich quick scheme. Now it can be, I guess, but that's for a few people that really work at it really hard. I find it's a get rich slow scheme that you can work quite easily. So,
Yep.
anybody else got anything? We're just, this isn't the John and Lloyd show here today, so. But you got anything you want to share, or just, if you don't have any haves or wants, just tell us about a deal you're doing. You working on a deal?
Somebody had a question on the chat. I
I
answered
didn't
it.
look at that. Yeah, go ahead.
You guys might have another answer. They were looking for an insurance person. I gave him Jeremy's number.
Mhm.
Heiser.
Okay. Yeah, Jerry. Mhm.
But looking for somebody for vacant property under construction. So I don't know if
Like a builder's risk is what you're probably going to need. If I
Yeah.
would have known that earlier in my life, I would have been a little richer because of some things that happened. But it covers you for, yeah, that's a good thing to point out actually, because it'll cover you for liability and anything. The way now I'm not an insurance guy, I'm not anymore, but the way it works is actually you pay a premium for the year. This is the way I've done it before, and it may be different, I don't know, but you pay a premium for the year. It's non-refundable, but it covers you. Like in my case, I insured the property for $80,000. That was what the property was going to be worth when it was done, but it would cover my workers for liability. And if anything happened to the property, it would pay up to that amount. Okay. I've never collected on that, but I had some properties before where an arsonist broke in and burned it down. If we were working on, if I would have known about that insurance at the time, they would have paid me the $65,000 or whatever we would have insured it for. And it's about, I mean, it seems like money you're wasting, but it's not. Okay. It's like $500, $600, $700 a year or something like that. 800. I don't know what it would be now. It just depends on your property. And it seems like a lot, but it does give you a lot of coverage. And because you can't really, my experience is you can't get regular insurance on anything you're doing construction under. It has to be something like that, which is a higher risk, for them.
Yeah.
But there's people that underwrite it. They know exactly what they're doing. And I highly recommend it if you're doing a project.
I figure if Jeremy didn't do it, he probably would know somebody that would, since he knows investment property and stuff like that.
Yep. Start right there. That's exactly right.
Yeah, no, Jeremy's spoken at some of our classes when we've done a investment 101 class. He talks about that. I think he does. He can write that kind of policy too, I think. So
Yeah.
It's
a start.
Yeah, good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ann's, I think Ann's mentioned before, she's an RVer, is paying the rent too. For storing an RV. So we get something lined up.
You might have quite a deal. Maybe you need more than a half acre, Lloyd.
I might. Yeah, like I said, half an acre is the minimum. I kind of looked at. I had the deal. I slipped through my fingers. I think it was like 0.8 of an acre, and I worked out I could get 2 little buildings that hold about 4 each, sitting at an angle. I have room to drive in between, and then have room over against one side of the fence for some outside storage too.
Mm-hmm.
But, that would be ideal to have some inside and some outside storage. Because I know there's got to be a demand for it, because the place where I'm storing it, they had 2 buildings. When I rented, well, initially they built like 16 units in one building. I was within and just 2 years ago, I think they're 2-3 years ago, they built a mirror image of it on the other side. They had a large lot. And so they expanded it to 32 units. And right now, right down the middle where they used to have outside storage, they're building number 3, making another, it looks like another copy of it for the 3rd building. So they're giving up I guess they evicted all their outside storage tenants, and so now they're doing indoor only.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a demand for it. They're filling the need out here in St. Charles. I'm sure there's around other areas too. There aren't too many places that have that ability to store they got 12 foot wide by 14 feet high doors on each unit. And I think it's about a 16-foot ceiling inside of there. It can take the big rigs, the Class A's and Class B motorhomes. Let's see. Also got Scott. What's he saying here? Is there anyone who has some good Section 8 experience that I could connect with? I have a duplex in South City, 4-bed units. Looking to to learn from people who have done it, okay? And he left his email there. So anybody that's got some experience with Section 8, might want to talk to Scott, give him some advice. I personally haven't dealt with that. I know people that get into it though, once you know the rules and are willing to follow them, yeah, you got a good property farm. You can.
I've got a Section 8 property, but I let my property manager take care of it. As David would probably say, that's the best way to do it.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Seriously.
Let somebody else hassle with it.
Yeah. You don't have a property manager, Dave. Dave, do you manage Section 8, Dave? Since you're right there, David said.
Yeah, we do. But we
Okay.
we deal with different organizations. Down here in Southeast, it's EMMA. I forgot exactly what it is, but yeah, we do deal with it. And the problem with it is not. I mean, it's not that we discourage it, but understanding, just like you said, all the rules, having to know the rules.
Oh yeah.
And that's the big part of it. It's not like doing anything else. And so you have to make sure you're aware of what's going on and how to do it. So
Yeah, and I don't know. Did he say where it was at? This property?
South. He said South
City.
City. Yeah, a duplex in
Yeah.
South City. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's in the county, and I know, and this was before COVID, the county housing authority used to have monthly meetings with the landlords. So maybe the city has the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's probably-
believe. Yeah, I think there is. They've got some kind of a landlord education program for people that are getting into it.
Yeah, I mean, they want Section 8 properties, so at least in the county, they're very helpful. So he should check with the city housing authority or whatever, and they can probably help him. My guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good source too if he hasn't already.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, if anybody else wants to connect with him and give him a hand, upwardprops@gmail.com. upwardprops@gmail.com is Scott Winkleman's email. Okay.
Well, I have a little property coming up. I wasn't going to really say anything about it, but in a few weeks, we just started cleaning it up. I was over there yesterday. It's a small home that's going to be for sale. You can go by, I guess, look at it. I don't know if you can get in or not. He might have the door open, but it's a little house in Hazelwood. It's not very expensive. It's going to, I'm going to kind of just see what I can get for it. I'm going to have it at $19,000. It's a little 2-bedroom. It was a great rental for many years, but I'm kind of moving in different directions right now. And the guy who was going to do that is not going to take it. So anyway, I can give you the address if you're curious to check that out. It's going to be, once we just start cleaning it, I'm going to we're going to sink some money in it the next couple of weeks. So it's not going to be 19,000 after that. But if you want to go by and look at it now, you can take a look. It's right off Florissant Road and 270. It's I believe it's 202 Anastasia Drive.
spell that.
Yeah, it's not like it sounds. ANISTASIA, I believe. Anastasia. It's just a couple blocks off of Florissant Road, right by the high school right there, McClure High School. So it's a good area. I owned that property many years. I bought it when it was falling apart, and now it's kind of falling apart again because of what's happened to it. But we were just over there. It needs some drywall and the bathroom fixed and stuff. And the guy's going to start on it next week. But that's kind of what we're looking at right now. And the properties in the area, they range a lot. That's like that, was it Burke City? I think it's called over there. It's close to Calverton Park, close to Hazelwood, and close to Ferguson, and close to whatever else is over there. There's about 40 municipalities all in one. So nobody can agree on anything. So, but it's a great property for rentals because you got, fairly decent schools right there with Ferguson, Florissant, and it's walking distance for everything. It's close to bus lines. We had one renter there forever. The rents aren't real high on them small homes, maybe, $600-700, something like that. It's good for 1 or 2 people. It's a great house for that. We had one guy that stayed there for, 7-8 years, something like that. Never raised the rent. He took care of it. You never heard from him. It's that kind of a place, if you find the right person. But that's just not, I don't really have anything up in that area anymore. I've got like 3 left in that area, and I'm just starting to liquidate what I got left. So,
Okay.
and I'll be advertising it probably in fact, our plan is I don't know how I'm going to do this, but on the 18th of August, we're going to go ahead. We're planning on having it cleaned up and ready with not much repairs left. So if you want to look at it with repairs, now's the time to do it.
Okay. You said it's a small house. Is it a small house on a large lot?
It is a large lot. Yes, the guy I bought it from, his dad built it back in the 50s, and they raised 4 kids there. And I asked him, I said, how the heck did you raise 4 kids there? You know, and he said, well, we didn't have regulations back there, and we all played outside. So, and that's what they did. I looked at one time at expanding it and building the house up, you know, building onto the house. It's got it was a 2-bedroom. Then when they changed the rules back in 2010, they called it 1-bedroom now. You know, they did it on a lot of the in fact, I got properties now that are called no bedrooms, and they were 2 bedrooms. So whatever, you know, you can just look at it. It's a nice little house. It's on a corner lot. It's a, you know, fairly good location. The address is 202 Anastasia, and I believe it's Anistasia. It's considered Hazelwood. It's right off Florissant Road, though, right at 270, a couple blocks up.
Okay. That's a little further away than I like, but I would consider, I said a small house on a large lot for my RV storage garage.
Well,
I'm thinking maybe Maryland Heights or Bridgeton somewhere, but Hazelwood's not that far.
it's right by the highway. That's always been the attraction to it, because the people that have lived there love it because of the, you know, they can commute.
The access.
easily.
Okay.
You know, you don't have to go through subdivisions real far to get back in there, you know?
Okay.
I see a bidding war.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I had a couple people interested, but we decided we're going to clean it up. We were over there yesterday, and the guy, the guy's going to do it. He's a drywaller, and he does bathrooms. So we're going to have it put back together. It's still probably going to need a few things. Main thing is we just want to make it, you know, look presentable, because it's been sitting empty for a little bit, you know. No major problems though, that can't be fixed. Yes. Thank you for putting that in there, Derek.
Okay. Excuse me.
I got a lot in Bismarck too for $39 a month. If anybody's interested in vacation or weekend home that they want to build.
There's the dealionaire making it big on little deals.
Hey, I had a couple I sold this week again too. People come to me. I haven't even advertised these in a while. And I'm looking at buying some more though, because right now people are buying stuff out of town, especially if you can get water, sewer, and power that are available without drilling your own well, things like that. You can buy a property for a few $1,000. It's a good deal for a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No
Where is
idea.
Bismarck anyway?
Yeah, I have no idea what Bismarck is.
It's about 130 miles away. It's this property is a couple blocks from the lake. There's a lake, about 130 acre lake down there. No HOAs, POAs. That's one of the attractions to this area. You know, so you're not going to be a lot of fees if you don't use the property right away anyway.
Okay. Could go down there on a weekend and just set up with my RV, park my RV, and
Actually, I was kind of surprised because not too long ago, I seen some signs down there from a property across from what we did a rehab on a few years ago. And it was Chris Kleewine's property. He bought one down there. Now he owns a few of them in that same area. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I called him up and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He goes, "Oh yeah, we got a deal on that A-frame." And so he was fixing it up. So there's deals to be made everywhere if you don't mind a little trip.
mm-hmm. And that could be a fun trip too. Go down to the lake.
Absolutely.
Yeah, spend a few days down at the lake working on your rehab.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. Anybody else got anything? Well, I don't know. If not, we can call it a day here.
All right.
And see everybody next week. I guess, have you heard from Kathy? She just said she wasn't going to be available this week, so I'm assuming next Friday we can get back together with Kathy and
Yes.
give us an update. It's getting closer to that deadline, the July 30th moratorium, end of the eviction moratorium. So
Mhm.
hopefully it'll end on July the 30th, 31st. So
Yeah, she'll be here next week. And then we kind of talked about maybe doing a once a month with her, but I still think we ought to meet for our networking every week, depending on what everybody else wants to do, because it seems to be pretty good. And I know a lot of people can't make it live, but they do kind of watch the the replays, so which is always good.
Mhm.
So, and we can even do different subject. We could even have people come in and do something on what I was kind of thinking is maybe have somebody that comes in like that does decks or look, or does stuff. People actually looking to work, and
Yeah.
talk about what they do. There is people out there that will work. You just have to find them. The people that don't want to work, I think it's the same old story that they didn't want to work back then when it was easier. It's just easier now, maybe. I don't know.
Mhm.
That's my experience with them. But the people want to work, they're busy and they're good. And so if we can get a couple of them in to talk to us, I think that would be helpful for a lot of us. Because I know, Lloyd, you talked about decks and some other things, and
Yeah.
Like the guy's doing the bathroom in that little house and stuff. He's busy as can be. He's not looking for work, but if you know the right people, they'll work it out for you.
Get on a schedule. Yeah, if you know somebody that's good and does good work and is reasonable, just get on their schedule, and that's how I got my deck done. The guy that built several fences for me, and but now he's so busy I can't even get him to return my call. So
there's a lot of that going on right now with
Yeah.
non-return phone calls. I'll tell you, it's been frustrating for me the last couple months.
It's frustrating, but yeah, I'll keep calling though. I got
follow up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got to do the follow up. That's what I got. I got to learn to do that follow up. You just keep don't just because he doesn't return my call 1 month. Don't. I just call him back every month.
Yep.
Maybe eventually his waiting list will get back to that two month thing that he liked to have. That was he was comfortable with. He's probably got a 6 month waiting list now, but eventually he'll burn through that and work will settle down. So.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank everybody. Thanks y'all for coming in today. I hope you got something out of our discussion here. And if you,
Thank you.
okay, thank you, Brenda, for coming.
Thanks for attending, guys. Good seeing you.
Yeah. So take care. We'll see y'all next week with Kathy.
We sure will. See you
Bye.
then. See you Tuesday also.
And Tuesday, yeah, don't forget
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Big meeting.
Yep. Bye now.
Bye-bye.